A consistent theme I've seen wherever I've lived, from Dubai to Ottawa to Houston, is that artists are the worst at policing one another. We constantly bully and belittle peers for doing it the wrong way, from assuming abstract art is easy, to dismissing digital art when it first arrived on the scene, to conversations about having to learn skill in a specific way for it to be legitimate. I have heard it all. I'm curious, what's one arbitrary standard you've heard to define artists? Hi, I'm Carrie, and I'm here to remind you you're already an artist. Here on Artist Strong, I help creatives stop feeling like a copyist or hobbyist so they can create their first real series of artwork and build a portfolio they're proud of. If you are ready to stop the DIY learning and get the support and structure to finally draw and paint with your unique voice, I'm here to help. Sign up and watch my workshop, How to Transform Your Ideas into Artwork That's Uniquely Yours. To date, thousands have joined the community. The workshop is completely free to watch, and the link is in the description below. Over time and across history, what's wrong has evolved and changed, but the theme has remained. We all spend a little too much time judging others for how they show up and make art. A repeated judgment I hear is, real artists don't use references. Now let's debunk this myth once and for all. What are references? References are both 2D and 3D imagery artists refer to, thus the word reference, when making art. They can include photographs, collaged elements, digital drawings, still lifes, models, buildings, landscapes, and more. Artists from the Renaissance to today have used references in all kinds of ways to help them communicate the ideas in their art. Let's break this down into further detail. Real artists don't use references. Reality, all artists, especially great ones, use references. This myth thrives on the idea that art should pour purely from your imagination, that using references somehow makes you a copier, not a creator. So many of you have expressed concerns about being a copyist. I wrote and recorded an entire episode on it here. But the idea erases centuries of art making. Leonardo da Vinci, he sketched cadavers to understand anatomy. He also used his own drawings for later paintings. Mary Cassatt, she spent years studying Japanese woodblock prints and often painted directly from life. Frida Kahlo, she drew from photo references of herself and her family when bedridden after her bus accident. Kara Walker, her silhouetted figures are built from deep research, historical texts, photographs, even old racist advertisements. I consciously picked artists recognized by art history because we tend to put people like that on a pedestal. When I ask myself, do you think you're above using techniques used by masters of the Renaissance? The answer feels kind of obvious. In other words, using references is not cheating, it's learning. It's honoring what you see, and it's a strategy that artists at every level, from beginner to world-renowned, employ. Why the myth persists and who it hurts. This idea that real art can't rely on sources stems from a perfectionist, elitist mindset, one that whispers, you should know just how to draw that. Using a reference makes you less talented. Tracing, that's for cheaters. These messages disproportionately impact self-taught artists who often feel pressure to prove themselves without formal credentials. Women artists, historically excluded from life drawing classes or access to human anatomy training. Marginalized artists whose cultural knowledge, systems, or approaches to art may differ from dominant Western narratives. Let's stop the gatekeeping and use tools that help us grow. Women who used and reinvented references. Let's highlight a few extraordinary women who made referencing part of their process. Lois Mailou Jones, a Black American painter who used photographs and textile designs from Haiti, Africa, and the Harlem Renaissance to inform her vibrant compositions. Her works were layered with historical meaning, made possible by a deep reference practice. Amrita Shergill, often called India's Frida Kahlo, she studied European masters and referenced Mughal and Pahari miniatures to create a truly hybrid style. Her use of cultural reference wasn't copying, it was claiming space for a new visual language. Amy Sherald, known for her portrait of Michelle Obama. Sherald works from photo references she stages and shoots herself. She uses grayscale skin tones to push beyond realism and highlight the constructed nature of portraiture itself. None of these artists would be considered less real because they used references. In fact, their work stands out because they do. What counts as a reference? A reference is anything that informs your visual decision making. That includes a photograph you took, a Pinterest board, a still from a movie, a friend's hand posing under good light, your reflection in a spoon, a figure you sketched on the subway. References are not the enemy. They're raw material, like a chef gathering ingredients for a signature dish. You're allowed to source, mix, adapt, and transform. What matters is what you do with it. I'd love to know, how do you use references to bring your ideas to life? If you aren't sure how to move away from copying and you want to step into a more unique voice, be sure to sign up for my workshop, How to Transform Your Ideas into Artwork That's Uniquely Yours. The workshop is completely free, and the link is in the description below. But what about copying? This is where things get nuanced. Copying for learning is a time-honored practice. Every atelier student studies the masters by duplicating their work. Artists often learn proportion, color, or composition by mimicking what they see. That's not theft, it's education. The key is to eventually move beyond copying and use references as a springboard for your voice, not replacement for it. When your work is too close to the original, it's called being derivative. But when you start to piece together your inspirations with your own take, it starts to become something else entirely yours. Let me know if you'd like more conversation about derivative art in the comments below. Just comment the word derivative art or the phrase so I know. Austin Kleon has a great little book you may have heard of called Steal Like an Artist. In it, he gives some great advice about how to start moving away from the artists that have inspired you and how to step more deeply into your unique voice. My favorite advice is what he called mapping your artist family tree. I liked it so much, I created a workshop around the concept inside my signature program, Self-Taught to Self-Confident. The idea is to look at the artists who inspired you and then look at the artists that inspired them and keep going so you can see the thread of history across artists that help you make the art you want to create. 4 action steps to embrace references without guilt. 1. Curate a Yes You May folder. Collect screenshots, paintings, photographs, and figure studies from artists you admire. Label the folder something affirming. Every time you feel that old shame creep in, go there and remember references are part of the process. You could even create a wall or poster that lets you easily see the images together and help you start to piece together what's a through line across all of your inspirations. 2. Practice remix drawing. Take 2 or more references, say a vintage photo of a woman, a color palette from a flower, and the pose of a statue, and create something new from their combination. This builds your design muscles and makes it yours. I recently took up collage as a way to make art with my daughter, and as I created mini compositions, I realized I wanted to try to draw or paint them. It's become this really fun way to create whimsical, surreal art that looks nothing like I've seen anyone create. 3. Celebrate the source. Post your art alongside the reference photo, with credit if it's not your own. Share your process. It invites community, shows your learning journey, and encourages other artists to drop the shame. When you're learning, it's okay to work from copyrighted photos. What is not okay is to pretend that the original photograph is yours or to sell your art that directly copies the image reference. While I totally understand people's excitement about developing their skill and really capturing a likeness of the photo, for example, I challenge you to start thinking about what's next for your art. If you can copy the photo, you have the skill to start bringing your own ideas to life. 4. Study artists who use references. Boldly make a list of artists, especially women artists if that's what inspires you, who embrace references in their work. Some to start with: Mickalene Thomas, Faith Ringgold, Toyin Oji Odutola, sorry about that, Bisa Butler, Georgia O'Keeffe. Follow their interviews, their process videos, or studio talks. Learn from how they learn. You are the artist. The most dangerous idea isn't that references are bad. It's the notion that you aren't a real artist unless you create in a certain way. That's the root of the shame. That's what we need to unlearn and stop perpetuating when we bully or belittle others in their creative practice. Using references doesn't make you a fake artist. It makes you a prepared one, a thoughtful one, a resourceful one. So whether you're sketching from a Pinterest board of hands, your own selfie, or your child's toy dinosaur, know this: you are a real artist, and the tools you use to build your vision, they're part of your power. Want to celebrate and grow your practice with others who believe the same? Join the Artist Strong community and proudly call yourself an artist. References, inspiration boards, messy sketchbooks, and all. Because together, we reclaim the artist identity. Thank you guys so much for watching. As always, please like and subscribe to my work to never miss an episode. And tell me what you'd like to learn about next in the community tab. Your ideas and feedback determine the content I create. Remember, proudly call yourself an artist. Together we are Artist Strong.